Hey, running friends. Welcome to the Wrinkled Runner podcast. I'm Sherry, the Wrinkled Runner. I'm over 50 and I love to run wherever I go, but Buffalo, New York is my home. If you are looking to start to run or you're an older runner, this podcast is especially for you, so subscribe now. I love to help people get running and keep running. Have you ever seen anything like this? 2 miles easy, 8 by 100 m at 5K with 200 m recovery, 1 mile cool down. Do you know what they're talking about? Today I'm sharing with you the secret code of runners. Well, not so secret, but just some shorthand that we use when we're putting together workouts. In the example I just gave, if you are near a paper and pen, it might help to write this out. And we'll see if I can explain how over audio. I'll include this in the show notes as well. I know it helps me to visualize stuff, especially numbers. So if you write down a 2 with MI space easy after it slash the numeral 8 with an X and 100M, the @ sign, which is the same as the @ sign when you type out your email in between your name and your provider, 5K slash 200M REC slash 1 MICD. What you just wrote is runner shorthand for run 2 miles at your easy conversational pace, run a cycle of 100 meters at your current 5K pace with 200 meters of walking recovery, and do that 8 times. So the 100-meter run and the 200-meter walk 8 times. And finish with 1 mile of cool down at your cool down pace, usually zone 1 or 2 for most of you, or walking. I know when I first started getting into running drills and actual workouts beyond just mileage, I was confused what the shorthands meant and had to Google what some of these things were. Those of us who have been running for a while fall into the thinking that everyone knows what we're talking about when we talk the lingo, and forget that when we first started out that we didn't know what things meant and had to look it up or had to ask someone. So that's kind of the point of this little audio tutorial, I guess. When you see an M, that means meters, and even here in the U.S., runners talk about meters a lot, especially in the shorter distances that are less than a mile, but then a lot of your 5K, 10K, things like that. I'm terrible at knowing what meters and kilometers feel like or look like, so a lot of times I'm Googling what the conversion is once I get beyond, say, a 15K. And with, meters like 400 meters, 800 meters, things like that, I just don't know. So usually I have to Google it. So after the @ sign, you're going to see the pace that you should be trying to hit, and that is in meters, kilometers, or race distance, or just the pace range that your coach or calculator wants you to hit. So if you see at half marathon race pace, that means you should find out what your current half marathon race pace is, and I'll link you to the race pace calculator to help you figure that out. You may also see at goal half marathon race pace, and that is what you are trying to hit if you are training for a half marathon. Now, you're only going to see that if you're training for a half marathon, the at goal half marathon pace. If you're training for a 5K, you're going to see at goal 5K pace. Unless it says goal, run those paces at your current level. So in a lot of workouts, you're going to see a lot of different race equal things there. You may do some workouts at 5K race pace. You may do some at half marathon race pace. You may do some at 3K race pace. You're only going to see goal half marathon, goal 5K for the specific races. You're only going to be running those goal if you're doing that specific race. So you're not going to run an at goal half marathon race pace if you're training for a 5K. That's what I'm trying to say. So unless it says goal, run those paces at your current level. You may also, instead of distance, see time expressed. So the shorthand could be 6 miles easy plus 2 by 8 second hill sprints. So you will sprint fast up a hill for only 8 seconds 2 times. You may or may not see an explicit recovery. You may just see jog recovery or recover. you will need to use your judgment in that case, how long your recovery is. And when it gets back into zone 1 or 2 range, then you do the next interval. And if you need to know what your zone ranges are, I'll link you to a place where you can figure that out as well in the show notes. So that may be expressed, for example, as 3 by 400 m at 3K pace. So you will run for 400 meters 3 times at your current 3K pace. The recovery is not included in the equation, but rather it is left up to you to decide when you are recovered to start the next 400 meter run. But you're never going to do a 3 by 400 meter at 3K pace like continuously. There's going to be some kind of recovery in between those 300 meters if it's expressed as 3 times, 4 times, whatever. But that recovery is going to be left up to you. Now, you may not have a goal pace if you're just running to, like, say, complete a half marathon, or you're just running your 5K. You may not have a goal, and that's fine. If you don't have a goal, do it a little bit faster than your current. Do it at your current. You can kind of play with that. Don't be crazy, So if you're in a run, walk, start to run program, you may be more familiar with how workouts may be written out. So you may have a 5-minute warm up, 10 by 1 minute run / 1 minute walk / 5 minute cool down to add up to 30 minutes. As you get deeper into workouts, you will see things like 2 by 6 minute, 5 minute, 4 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute at 10K to 1500 m pace with 90-second jog recoveries between intervals, 2-minute walk between sets. So, just like a math problem, if you break it up, you're going to get from that what your workout is. This is called a ladder workout, what I just described, and it just means that you're working in steps up and down of different times or distances. So for this particular workout, you'll run for 6 minutes with a pace range of your current 10K pace down to your 15-meter pace. You're going to jog for 90 seconds and then run that same pace range for 5 minutes, 90-second jog, and so on down until you run the last step of 1 minute. That would complete the first of the 2 sets. You will then walk for 2 minutes, then start at the 6-minute step again and work your way back down to the 1 minute with 90-second jog in between. So this is why I said you might want to write some of these down as I'm going through them, because to hear them over in your ears or, over audio, you may have no clue what I'm actually talking about. So again, I'll write those in the show notes, and then you can see what I'm talking about visually. So I'm talking about specific workouts, and obviously I can't go through them all the different kinds of things that you might see. So if you have any questions about your workouts, you can shoot me an email and I will interpret it for you. Hopefully I've given you some clarity, especially if you're looking at the examples in workout shorthand. This week's running resource is a page that I put over on the Wrinkled Runner blog to explain and give examples of the running shorthand for workouts to hopefully dive a little deeper and give you a clearer picture of what I'm talking about. Next week, we're going to put our workout knowledge to use. I am training my son in a Start to Run program, and he is loving breaking up the run into chunks, which I send him via workout shorthand. So join us as we run together for 30 minutes and as I guide him, and you can join us on this run. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you know another runner who could benefit from today's topic, go ahead and share it. Do you have any running questions? You can ask me. Email me at sherry@wrinkledrunner.com, and if I can't answer your question, I will do the research to find the answer and share it with you. The questions I get from listeners like you help me develop episodes, so please don't be shy. You can sign up for my once-a-month newsletter using the link provided so that you can have all the Wrinkled Runner resources from the past month all in one place. I also have opened up my virtual coaching in addition to coaching one-on-one with those in the Buffalo, New York area. So head to my coaching page on the Wrinkled Runner website, which I will, of course, link to, and check out how we may be able to work together. Until next Monday, thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the run.